There is then a third variant of heart with atrioventricular septal defect and common atrioventricular junction that we need to examine. We see here the phenotypic features of the heart with atrioventricular septal defect. There is inlet-outlet septal disproportion, and the valve coming into the left ventricle is half of a common atrioventricular valve possessing the left ventricular components, superior and inferior bridging leaflet, along with a mural leaflet that is guarding only 1/3 of the left half of the common atrioventricular junction. If I open that junction so that you can view it from the atrial aspect, we see that the atrial septum itself is remarkably well formed, and it comes all the way down to the level of the atrioventricular junction. And then there is a small fibrous raphe here which joins together the left ventricular components, the superior and the inferior bridging leaflet, giving us a separate trifoliate left atrioventricular valve for this left ventricle. The other consequence of this is that all the shunting now across the atrioventricular septal defect is at ventricular level. So if I turn the heart all the way around so that we can look at it from the right ventricular aspect, we have a potentially confusing situation. We see that the atrial septum is remarkably well formed. Here is the oval fossa, which is itself probe-patent. Here is the triangle of Koch. The atrial septum extends all the way down to the atrioventricular junction. We see the inferior bridging leaflet and the superior bridging leaflet disappearing through the atrioventricular septal defect into the left ventricle. So we have a common atrioventricular junction divided into separate right and left atrioventricular components, but with all the shunting across the atrioventricular septal defect being at ventricular level, because the bridging leaflets themselves are firmly fused to the leading edge of the atrial septum.